Greetings, this is Greg for Tesla Fan Insight. My talk today focuses on the Tesla mobile repair units. Bonjour, wie geht's? Wie steht's noch im Ausweibeinen Trasvice? Ni hao ma. This is Greg for Tesla Fan Insight. As you know, we try to bring information on different elements that are affecting current and future owners of Tesla automobiles. And it turns out in many cases, the things we cover also impact what competitors might have to do in the future to be successful. My talk today is focused on the mobile repair units for Tesla because the entire repair arena has been somewhat of a challenge even when only Model X's and S's were being dealt with. So to date, Tesla has primarily been focused on having folks come in primarily to have repairs done. Those repairs have been handled in, I want to say, a high quality fashion because in many cases the company would simply come with another car more expensive than your current vehicle, leave it in the garage, pick up your current car, repair it, and do a swap. So it was fairly seamless for customers, even if there was a bit of inconvenience when it came time for the repair to even be needed to begin with. I think over time, Tesla's improved their quality efforts, and they really have to make changes in order to address the costs related to handling all the Model 3s and the fact that Model 3s are less costly vehicles, so hence the margins are tighter. So a new solution would have to be arrived at, and that solution is a mobile repair unit, both a large van size, it's a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van, as well as a smaller sized for sort of quick stops. I actually had a friend of mine who's an S model owner who's had repairs done directly at Tesla. He lives in Berkeley, California, so he's having repairs done at the factory, so they're picking up the car. He recently had a repair done by the mobile repair unit. In this case, he damaged his rim and blew a tire. So that mobile repair unit came out, replaced the tire and fixed the rim. And he didn't tell me what the charge was, but he was really happy with the service. Tesla has no choice in the matter about figuring out how to provide service. And I think the fact that they've chosen to do these vans is somewhat creative. I believe it's somewhat of a mystery as to how the numbers are working out. There is warranty repairs, but there's also repairs on routine items that one need not go to the factory for. So in theory, it should be less costly, but it does cost money to have those vans out there and people on them. I'm intrigued by this because the highest level of service I've seen has typically been at the high-end Mercedes, let's say, where you do get a loaner and they take your car back, repair it, and then return it, is sort of the industry norm. So to have vans moving about, giving out instant repairs, I think is very impressive. It's also kind of a sidebar caveat here is that I did a talk a few days ago, and this is July of 2017, regarding the fact that places like AutoZone as well as O'Reilly would see less sales because Teslas only have 17 parts in the engine bay, so there weren't enough parts there to repair, make life good for the repairing entities. And so if you have these vans moving about and addressing even minor issues like tire replacement and repair, etc., this really screws up the business model of many of these companies. So to my knowledge, Tesla started out in the Bay Area with this concept near their factory to sort of test out the idea of fairly quick mobile repairs. It turned out to be successful, and now as we head into the rollout of the Model 3, they'll be having 350 of these vans, I guess, spread throughout the United States, spread throughout the world. The trend for Tesla has been to sort of introduce an idea, test it out if it's working, and then keep increasing the numbers to address the largest market possible in terms of customers that might need those services. So I think that I think it's a good idea. I think it's a great way to show that you're really focused on customer service. I wonder if it isn't going to result in competing companies having to consider this, because as consumers get this kind of service, I think they're going to start to wonder why it is competing firms are not interested in providing that kind of service. So I think it's a great idea. Hopefully it doesn't bankrupt the company and they're incrementally able to pay for it, because I think it's a huge boon to customers to have this kind of service. Additionally, I'm also sort of fascinated by where we go from here with Tesla. What I mean by that is that Tesla is systematically closing down the competitive lanes relative to other organizations. So Tesla has decided to sell direct with no dealers. The lack of a dealer network affects the number of repair facilities they have out there. And I believe that having this mobile repair facility is terrific. I also kind of like this mobile repair facility because Tesla is having supply chain problems, meaning that there's a real issue right now with parts on the Model X, Model S, and I'm confident there'll be parts issues when it comes to the Model 3 as well, because every car that's being manufactured, they have a vertically integrated situation where they make most of the parts that they sell. So as a result, if you crash or have other damage, again, I would highly recommend that you consider continuing to drive your car if that's possible, because it could be a while before major parts, like if you get rear-ended, all those parts to come in. And as we've covered in earlier videos, Tesla recently doubled the number of authorized repair shops. But the problem is that they doubled the number of repair shops, but the number of auto parts available for those shops has not increased. So as a result, you have a whole bunch of people that do have damage waiting an extremely long time to get their vehicles fully repaired. And this is unfortunate, but it's a good idea to sort of note what's going on with this if you're a potential owner. Perhaps my final note on this issue is that I'm actually impressed because there's a concept called the time value of money that consumers have now gotten real familiar with. So the concept is that, if in fact you have a minor issue that needs repair and the Tesla vehicle comes to you, you now can step out at lunch at work or pop by home briefly, have your repair done, and you're gone. And so this eliminates the need to take a lot of time off work, get to a repair facility, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that Tesla is perhaps introducing a new standard for how auto repairs are done. And I think that incrementally they're chipping away at the anticipated issues that competing companies might think about once they enter the market. The last note here might be the fact that, with as few moving parts as a Tesla has, and the ability to do the mobile repairs and then bring back to the service center from there, I think this also helps that whole discussion of the fact that there are many states that Tesla is not allowed to sell in, and at least this is the United States, but it also addresses the fact that they don't have to build brick and mortar, build as many stores into which you have to take your vehicle to have it repaired. So, long-winded statement to say, I think in general, great idea to have more of these service vehicles out there. I'm hopeful it doesn't bankrupt the company, but I think it's a very customer-friendly thing to do. And the reviews I've had from customers that have been exposed to these repair folks has actually been quite positive. I'm also thinking that if the service techs identify things that require Tesla parts, they're, I think, more tied into the supply chain for parts than those folks who are at the authorize repair facility. So if you're in a situation where the parts haven't come in, I think you may want to invent maybe a small repair issue within your vehicle, and when the guy shows up, he has an ability to reach into the parts lane that Tesla offers that's way better than someone who's an outsider in an external repair shop. So I think that I have to give kudos to the folks at Tesla and Elon Musk on their efforts regarding customer service in this regard. I look forward to our next opportunity to visit. This is Greg for Tesla Fan Insight. Look forward to your comments and suggestions. Tschüss, macht's gut, au revoir, à tout à l'heure. Please like and subscribe. And if you watch an ad or two, it really helps us to cover costs related to just better equipment and doing a better job. Have a great day. Thanks. Goodbye.